Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Since it is the Christmas season and the holiday season, I figure it'd be fun just to take a look at how the holidays have been represented in fighting games over the ages. It's always fun when you can celebrate the holiday season by just playing your game of choice and having some extra costumes or some extra stages or just something extra and fun to celebrate with. And with that said, I'm going to be going over some fighting games in this video that have their share of holiday cheer. Some games have more than others, to be fair, and some games, have long and storied franchises that had a lot of Christmas cheer early on and seem to have forgotten the holidays exist in later entries. Street Fighter! Street Fighter! Anyways, let's start with a blast from the past. Let's roll back the clocks to 1993 and Clayfighter. Clayfighter had a wide roster of just wacky characters, and one of those was Bad Mr. Frosty, a snowman come to life thanks to a clay meteor. Now, with a name like Bad Mr. Frosty, you can probably deduce he's not a great guy. Basically wants to plunge the world into eternal winter, and he can do a lot of snowman styled moves. He can throw snowballs, he can turn himself into a snowball. Anything kind of just snowman related, you got it, right? In his ending, he actually takes over the North Pole and kicks Santa out, which I guess you could argue could come back and bite him in the rear end, because come Clayfighter 63 and a third, Santa would come back as Sumo Santa to take down Bad Mr. Frosty. Now, to be fair, if I remember right, it's not actually Santa, it's like a clone of Santa Claus. But yeah, there's not much to him. He's fat and therefore must be a sumo wrestler. We like sumo on the channel, right? And Sumo Santa, not one of the better reps. Especially given the fact he comes from like the most degenerate part of the 90s. And his claytality is he'd jump up, put you in his butt, and then fart you out, basically. Ain't nobody accusing this game of being high art, let's put it that way. But it's literally Santa Claus, so it counts as Christmas. Now, speaking of Santa Claus, we have this game called Fight of Gods. It's an oddball game. One of the playable characters is very literally Jesus Christ, which I suppose is Christmas themed in its own way, but another character is the literal Santa Claus. And this Santa Claus is the holly jolly kind, not the gross out character like the one in Clayfighter, right? He fights with a lot of, Santa classics. He's got a big bag of presents, and boy howdy, wouldn't you believe he can zone you out with those same presents. He can grab you and take a selfie, then belly bump you on your way. That's pretty jolly. Attacks with candy canes, heck, even a super. He busts out the reindeer and the sleigh on you going full screen. Now that's a proper Christmas character if you ask me. This Santa is a good one. Now let's talk some Street Fighter, and I know your mind is immediately going to Street Fighter 5, and don't worry, we're going to get there because it has some of the best Christmas content in any fighting game. But first, let's talk Street Fighter 3, A New Generation. So we have Sean's stage in Street Fighter 3, and it's very decidedly Christmas themed. As we get later in successive rounds, you can see that they put up a Christmas tree. And that's just a nice decoration. It's not, the most Christmas thing ever, but, it's very noticeable. And I think it's very in the spirit of the video to have a nice Christmas tree in the background. Now, let's get to Street Fighter 5. If there was ever a fighting game that felt the holiday spirit, this game was it. We got a dedicated Christmas stage with Christmas Santa Abigail, the most jolly of all characters. I know for a fact that Abigail inspired a lot of holiday cheer in a lot of Street Fighter players over his time. And then we got a lot of the outfits, right? I think you can feel a lot of the holiday spirit blowing through you as you look through these costumes. And lots of people have fantastic holiday costumes. Like, look at this. We got Blanca as a reindeer, and Sakura, I guess, is a sexy reindeer? Sure. I don't know. Sakura's got her fans. It'll work out, right? This is the extra mile. There's a lot of people with Santa suits. There's a lot of appreciation for the classics, to be sure, right? And we can do a lot more than the basic Santa suits as well. Sometimes that's what you want, but if you want to get a little weird with it, Some characters go through some pretty drastic transformations. Like we have here Falk, right? Falk has her staff replaced with a candy cane, right? So if you want to beat someone over the head with a candy cane, that's exactly what you're allowed to do. And of course, Ken famously has the flamboyant, let's call it that, holiday outfit, which a lot of people love. And some of the Christmas costumes for Street Fighter V became outright just mainstays for the game, regardless of season. Like we have Zangief here, right? He's in the holiday spirit, except he has a giant bear head draped over his body as well, which, you know, very fitting for Zangief, given the character he is. But this costume and its various alternate colors would just become like one of the mainstays of Street Fighter V over the years. This one was a hit just beyond the holidays and goes to show the power of the holiday costume. Makes you sad for Street Fighter 6, which, you know, we're years into the game and all we can get is like a Christmas like battle pass with stickers and nonsense like that. Like, that sucks. Remember when Street Fighter felt the holiday spirit? It definitely felt it in Street Fighter V, and since disappeared since, making Street Fighter 6 look like kind of a Grinch in comparison. Tekken is another franchise that's very sufficient in holiday cheer. In Tekken Tag Tournament 2, there was a stage called the Arctic Dream, and it was all about Christmas and the holidays. We got lovely Christmas trees, all sorts of decorations, we got all sorts of Santas, we got snowmen, we got reindeer, and those are just people having fun with Christmas. Rest assured, Santa proper is in the background going through his present giving journey. This stage is just one of the greats. Like, there's not much else to say. It's beautiful, the lighting is great, the mood is great. You can see the Aurora Borealis in the background. It's one of those stages where the snow will move around as you're fighting. Maybe technically it's not as big of a deal these days, but it was really cool back in the time when they're doing this in Tekken Tag 2 and in Tekken 6. And really, everything about this stage is just a joy from a visual standpoint. It's actually one of my favorite Tekken stages ever. If you're looking to get in the holiday mood, this is one of the better stages for it. Keeping with the 3D fighting themes, we have Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive over the years had a bunch of holiday costumes, probably most prevalent specifically in 5. And also 6 to a later degree, just cause 5, everybody had some sort of holiday and Christmas costumes. You can see it right now here. We have Ayane versus Sarah Bryant, and you know, they're in the holiday spirits and fighting in the snow. And Dead or Alive also had a lot of great snow tech, where you can see kind of like, you know, frosty particles accumulate over the fighters over the course of a fight. And again, everybody had some sort of holiday costume. At bare minimum, everyone had some sort of Santa-based costume, you know, the red, the white, maybe some bells on it. That was across the cast, so everyone had some of the holiday cheer. But Dead or Alive being Dead or Alive, some characters had unique holiday outfits. Like Ayane here is basically a sexy snowman. Or if we actually cut back to the beginning of the video, someone like Nyo Tengu. Nyo Tengu is basically only wearing holiday wrap because I guess the idea here is, you know, you'd want to unwrap her. But as you know, on brand for Dead or Alive as it is, it's still on the message. Like, her fan got turned into a wreath and the wreath says Merry Christmas. So yeah, you know, it's a sexy costume and all, but it's still a Christmas sexy costume. They made it all work within the Dead or Alive framework. So everyone's got, you know, relatively anyways, tame basic Santa costumes, and for a couple extra DLC dollars, you can have the spicier Santa Christmas flavor. It's why Dead or Alive's one of the great folks. They knew how to figure this stuff out. And honestly, good for them. That's plenty Dead or Alive. Even games like Dragonball FighterZ had the Christmas spirit. Sure, the game couldn't really do things like 3D models and all that because they had to fix palettes, but still, everyone had some of that Christmas vibe to them. Every character had a Christmas dedicated color. Some characters, you know, different color schemes for Christmas, but they had the Christmas spirit. And hell, some characters we didn't even need Christmas specific colors because they've always had that holiday cheer within. Look at Broly.
Here's a present for you.
Look at that. He's got presents for everybody. In fact, it used to be part of an old series we used to do on the channel called Techmas, right? So when it comes to holiday cheer, Dragonball FighterZ, it had limited resources to work with, but it still made it happen. Other things not hurting for holiday spirit are games like Mortal Kombat 1. We even got a full-on Christmas stage here. A big old tree, got presents under the tree, and lots of characters have holiday costumes. Like take General Shao here, Shao Kahn. He's not only Santa flavored, he's Krampus flavored, because he's just a big old nasty man. And in fact, there's lots of holiday costumes, not only for the main cast has some excellent costumes as it stands, but also like the cameos, the assist characters. People like Serena, people like Frost, they have Christmas inspired outfits and they look fantastic, right? So Mortal Kombat may be, a drab, dour, blood-filled game and all that, right? But when it comes to celebrating the Christmas cheer, they're great. And heck, they even have holiday-themed towers where you can get bowled over by like snowstorms and all that kind of stuff, right? They know what the holiday season's about. So that's some examples of the holiday cheer in fighting games celebrating the Christmas and otherwise holiday season. I did cover a lot of games here, but of course this is not necessarily an exhaustive list. If you feel I missed something in the video, by all means, post in the comments below. I figure since it's the holiday season, a little bit of a fun video for the channel. And that all said, from myself, the rooflemonger, to you and yours, I wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and nothing but the best going into the new year. And that's it for the video, so thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some fighting games.
Yeah.